Welcome to the Wandering Lawton, and thank you for joining us for all these videos, and I hope you have lots of fun. Let's get to it.
My name's Mr. Murphy. I work here at camp. I'm one of the maintenance guys. And this is my apiary. That means that's where I keep all my hives. So right now I have 9 hives over there. They're making lots of honey for us this year. So what we're going to do is we're going to learn about some of the basic equipment for bees, and then we're going to take a look at some bees that I have in here. They're behind glass so they can't get out. We have two different types of hives here. This is called a nucleus hive, so you put 5 frames in here. This is if you catch a swarm or just a small colony of bees, you could start them out in here, and then as they grow, they go into this one. These are both called Langstroth hives. They were invented by a pastor in Philadelphia in 1850. Before that, you just kept bees in like a basket, and then if you wanted to harvest the honey, you had to tear the basket apart and kill the bees. So it wasn't a very efficient way to keep your bees from year to year. So he invented a way to keep the bees from year to year, to be able to inspect them and harvest the honey without killing the bees or damaging the hive. So, parts of the hive that we have, this is called the bottom board. This is where the bees come and go, in and out of, or the landing board, some people call it. This is called an entrance reducer. You can see it's got a small opening here, or we could flip it around and give them a larger entrance to come in and out of. Or we could take it out altogether and just give them that whole space. Depending on the time of year, if it's winter, cold, we let them use the small space because they don't need a lot of room to come and go. It's a lot easier for them to guard the hive. As it gets warmer, then we switch to the larger opening. Exactly. That allows a lot of air to go in because they keep their hive at 89 to 95 degrees year round. That's where they keep all their honey. From here up will always be honey supers. So you could go 1 honey super, 2, 3, 4, 5, as many as you need to keep the bees going. Depends on how many times a year you want to harvest the honey. We could give them a frame like this where it has some wire in there and a little bit of beeswax on there, and then they'll build out their beeswax, their comb from that. Or we do this where it's plastic foundation and we coat this with wax, and then the bees will start building that out. Now this comes in yellow, white, or black. I like to use the black plastic down in the bottom because your eggs and brood, your larvae and stuff is always white, so it's a lot easier to see it when you're looking in. And then when they build it out, it looks like this. That's where they're going to store all their larvae and honey in here. Okay? That's what they make. For them to make 1 pound of wax, they need 6 to 8 pounds of honey. So it's a lot of work for them to make wax. So that's why we try to give them the foundation with wax on it already. That gives them a head start on making it all. So we try not to damage that because it takes so much honey for them to make it. Workers could come in the bottom, come up through, they could go right up and put honey up there. But it keeps the queen down in the bottom. So that's the basic parts of a hive. Okay? Now, what do you see there?
Bees and fleas.
Yeah. These bees are starting to swarm. When they swarm, it's because they're running out of room in their hive. So this is what they'll do. They'll fly out and they'll find a tree around here and they'll just go to that tree. The queen will land and the rest of the bees will come to her and start making a ball like this on the tree. Then what they'll do from here is they'll start sending out scout bees looking for new places. When the scout bees come back, they do a waggle dance to tell them what information they have, and then they decide where they want to go. They like take a vote on where they want their new home to be.
Kind of like we do.
Yep, exactly. That's capped honey. What they'll do on these frames is they'll take the outside, they'll put capped honey, and then they'll put some rows of pollen, and then from there they start putting all the brood. They put all that honey and pollen there because that's the food for the baby bees, what they need to feed them. The white is larvae. That's baby bees in there. with this darker yellow, that's where they're capped over. So they're growing in there. Once they get to a certain size, they cap it over and finish growing in there. So it takes 14 days for a queen to hatch. It takes about 21 days for a worker bee to hatch, and 24 to 26 days for a drone bee to hatch. So a drone is a male bee. The drones mate with queens and they eat honey. That's all they do, basically. Yeah, they're pretty lazy. They do help keep the hive at the right temperature. But what you will see is 80% of the bees in the hive will be female bees. They'll be the worker bees. And then the other 20% will be drone bees.
I realized that the drone bees are bigger and the worker bees are smaller, and the drone bees have bigger antennas, and the worker bees have smaller. And the worker bees basically just works, and the drone bees eat until it's winter, and then they kick the drone bees out because he's eating too much. And the queen bee, they mark the queen bee with a color depending on which scene it is or something. And the queen bee basically lays eggs. Goodbye.
This is the stages of bees growing. So you start with a tiny egg. They are real small, real hard to find when you're looking. And then it starts to grow, and then there's a bee, yep. And then they'll start chewing their way out of the wax. And you'll see that in here. There are some bees that were doing that this morning. When I put it in there, they're starting to hatch out already. You see a young bee. What do you notice about that bee? Her light color. She's real hairy. See how hairy she is? That's how you tell that it's a young bee, because they're really brighter color and they have a lot of hair all over them. As they grow, that hair starts to come off their body. They start to lose it. Here you can see the color of the wax. See how bright white it is? New wax is always bright white. It changes colors as they walk on it. They bring stuff in and out. They make it dirty. So over time, it gets a lot darker. But depending on the time of year, depends on what color the honey will be, what they're getting nectar from. So this time of year, it'll be a real light color, sometimes almost clear like water. And then as the year goes on, in the summertime, it turns to like more of an orangish, darker yellow. And then in the fall, it almost turns like a blackish color. It just depends on the plants that are blooming and where they're getting their nectar from. So right now, they're getting nectar from maple trees. They're going to start getting nectar from poplar trees, from walnut trees, from locust trees, flowers, yep. Dandelions they're going to start collecting from, clover they'll start collecting from. So there's all sorts of things they can collect from. Yeah, there are. Now you see these cells here that look like Q-tips? They're the drone cells. That's where the drone bees are. And then up here you'll see the darker, smaller ones. That's where the worker bees are.
Oh, there's another one. I see one attaching. They're attaching.
You guys ready to go to your next thing?
Yeah.
All right.
Flying free, I make honey for you and me.
Yay! I'm a word in the ground, and I make soil for you and me. I have no mouth or eyes, but nobody knows. Goodbye!
So here at Camp Sankanac, I learned some new facts about bees, and I learned that when they don't just get pollen from flowers and turn it straight into honey. They get the pollen, and then they change the pollen into nectar, and the nectar into honey. Then they use the honey to make wax, so they can build their hive. And then from the hive, they can make more bees that get more pollen, and so on. And then I also learned how they have like ultraviolet eyes, so they can see. They still don't see as well as humans, but they can see flowers a lot better. And then I also really liked how big their camp was, and they took us on a hayride, so we got to see everything. And then I was able to look at an obstacle course that they would probably do for the people training on this.
Stuck at the wall. Come on. How are you gonna get across? There we go.
Three, two, one, go. Oh, over it. I didn't think of that. Oh, I think you'd lose. Yeah. You need a lot of room for the wall, though. You'll never make it. Whoa! Okay, how about the tires? What's your plan for the tires? Ooh, jump over there. Oh. Yay, good job. I don't know left and right, everything backwards.
Any right? All right.
Yeah!
Follow them.
Yeah. Follow them?
Done. I hope you had a lot of fun. Goodbye.
Adelaide, you want a Capri Sun? Okay, I'm rowing.
Yeah, you're splashing me.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, I'm working on it. I'm gonna flip a Yui. Adelaide, don't you see we're turning?
Are you going that way?
Yeah, I'm working on it.
That's not forward. This is forward.
Wait, which way is the river going? Wait, if there's waterfalls over
Your
there,
baby's going this
are those
way.
waterfalls going up or down?
Your baby is going back.
Down? Oh, okay. That means
We're heading somewhere. The river is going this way.
la-da-da-da-da-da.
The waterfall is there, not there, and the waterfall is pushing. So it's going this way.
This is a hard exercise.
You're not going back. Go backwards.
Okay. Ow.
Go back.
I can't. Backwards?
Yeah.
You want this boat to go backwards? Okay. Well, in my point of view, that is this way.
No! No! Where they are headed. Look forward.
Why would we do that?
Because we're
Wait.
going back.
If you're saying that way is forward, then that means that way is backwards. So I'm going
No,
the right
that
way.
way is backwards.
Wait, which way is backwards?
That way, where you're facing to them, because that's the back of the boat. So that would be
But the back of the
backwards.
boat is that way.
I mean,
Okay, you did it.
yeah.
Okay, but I'm still going forward. we should check out this waterfall. How big is it? 50
Don't
feet?
go forward.
100 feet?
Okay,
1,000? Get into what?